Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over Jynx EX. I wanted to revisit this one. The last time I played it, I didn't even use it in the video. It didn't pop off. It just didn't work. It was a kind of a bad deck, and I think I reworked it in a way that makes it a little bit better and added a couple cards that I think will probably help out since more cards have come out since I played this one. So we've got the Hypno with its Here for Hypnosis ability. Once per turn, you may play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. If you do, you can make the opponent's active Pokemon asleep. This is actually the thing that allows Jynx to pop off and really kind of get whatever KO we want. The cool thing is Hypno can be on the bench, it can be active wherever we put it, that's fine, we're not really worried about it. And we can go ahead and, you know, pop this down and eventually, potentially only need one throughout the entire run. We'll get into that later though. We've got the Jynx with its heart-stopping kiss. Just in time for Valentine's Day, make sure to hug your person. For water, colorless, if the opponent's active is asleep, you just knock it out, which is pretty awesome. I will say that the attack is probably a little darker in name than it probably needs to be, but it's a really fun card, it's a really fun deck, and I think this is actually going to be something that, you know, oh no, you're Charizard, knock it out. Oh no, you're whatever, knock it out. We don't want to be using this on one prize Pokemon. This is a Pokemon and an attack we want to be using on two prize Pokemon. I've switched it up a little bit, and we are running the Terapagos with its unified beatdown attack. For colorless, it does 30 for each Pokemon on your bench. And this is kind of why it's in here. We want to have a bunch of Pokemon, we want to have a bunch of Drowzee and Hypno kind of bouncing off each other ready to go, and that's important. And it also lets Terapagos hit for really big numbers. Because of that though, and because we are running water, we are running the Palkia VSTAR with its Subspace Swell attack. For water, it does 60 plus 20 for each Pokemon on all the benches, both yours and your opponent's. So with Terapagos in here and Area 0 Underdepths, we can be hitting for really big numbers, and we kind of like that. It also has the ability Star Portal. You may attach up to 3 water energy from your discard to your water Pokemon however you like. So this actually allows us to potentially hit with Radiant Greninja. This allows us to potentially hit definitely with Palkia VSTAR for really big numbers. And what's better than that? Just being able to plop it down, start firing. We do run the Bibarel line. I love this thing. I am so under-prepared for when this leaves. It's one of my favorite supporters because of how good it really is. So with its Industrious Incisors ability, if you don't have 5, you can get 5 in your hand by drawing off the top of your deck. It's so good. I love this card. And to round out our supporters, we do have the Fezandipiti with its Flip the Script, and we do have Radiant Greninja with its Concealed Card ability. But on top of that, it does have Moonlight Shuriken for water, and colorless. You have to discard 2 cards from it, but if you do, you do 90 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and that's really good. For supporters, we are running Irida. We are running Iono, Turo, Boss, and Colress's Tenacity. Irida, look for a water Pokemon and an item, put them in your hand. Iono, both players shuffle their hands, put them on the bottom of the deck, and draw however many prize cards they have remaining. Turo, this is what's going to help us really get Hypno off and let it roll multiple times. Choose one of your Pokemon in play, pick it up, and put it in your hand. If you do that, all cards attached do get discarded. Boss's order says pull up one of their bench Pokemon and make it the active Pokemon, so we can target down different Pokemon that we want to kill. Hopefully those 2 prizers. And we have Colress Tenacity. Look for a Stadium and an energy card and put it in your hand. Yes, this can be special energy. It's really fun. We do run the Scoop Up Cyclone in this because the Scoop Up Cyclone says put one of your Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your hand. so we can pick up a Hypno. If we have a Jynx that's about to die, we can pick up the Jynx and attach the double turbo to Terapagos and then play it back down. This is just going to be really good. It's going to be really fun. We like this card. We do run the Canceling Cologne. I think this is really good because you've got stuff like Milotic, you've got stuff like, you've got stuff like Mimikyu, you've got stuff like that we can go ahead and drop this down, say Manaphy's in play, stopping our Radiant Greninja. We bring up the Manaphy, play Canceling Cologne, and then we're going to be knocking out potentially 2 Pokemon and the Manaphy, so that's always really, really good. We do also run the Area 0 Underdepths. If you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you're allowed to have 8 Pokemon on your bench. If you, for whatever reason, don't have a Terra, or the stadium gets discarded, you then have to go back down to 5, discarding Pokemon from your bench. That's the deck list. I think it's really fun. I think it's going to be a lot better than the original one, but let's go ahead and get into it and see how we do. Okay, so with this deck, we do actually want to go first because we've got a lot of evolving. We've got the Palkia, we've got other stuff like that. Terapagos here isn't terrible, especially with the idea that we can have this double turbo on it, so we're not too overwhelmed right this second. With this though, I'm thinking we probably discard this Hypno, discard this counter catcher with the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball goes and gets us...
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, so we're playing that, but Ultra Ball will get us, hopefully, Radiant Greninja. That way we can discard this Water Energy, so on and so forth. Okay, Fire Energy down. Going second isn't the greatest, especially since Terapagos can't attack anyway, so... Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and drop that. We do want at least 1 Hypno, so there's, some reliability there. That way we have it in hand. We can go ahead and Radiant Greninja. We will conceal cards here. And we get a Boss's Order and Colress Tenacity. That's not terrible. I think we'll just attach and we'll let it go. We do have this double turbo energy. We can just use Radiant Greninja again, see what we get off of that, or we could do the Colress Tenacity, get our Area 0, get a Water Energy, put that in the discard, and keep rolling like that one. Okay, there is the Arcanine. Luckily, it is weak to water, so if we get a Palkia, we can just smash it. I'm not really worried about that. 280, so 60, 80. So we need 140 damage to knock it out with 1 hit from Palkia. It grabs the Radiant Charizard. That's something to also be aware of. We could, I mean, if we had we had the tools, we could have potentially gotten there, but I don't think we're gonna get there. We do have the Fezandipiti and the Colress, so I'm gonna get a Water Energy and an Area 0 here. Let's go ahead and concealed cards. Get rid of this, and we get the Iono. That's something. As of right now, we are doing... Yeah, we're only doing 40. That Bidoof lives. We'll end our turn. I don't want to put any energy out. I don't want to put anything out that isn't something we need right this second. Now, don't get me wrong. We could go ahead and use, again, that Boss, Radiant. Even if it were a barrel for 120, we'd have the damage off of this Radiant Greninja, but none of that is currently in play. None of that is currently an option, so I don't really want to start putting that out there just in case that's an option. I don't want to bank. I don't want to change the strategy of this deck for that. Okay, Irida here does help us out quite a bit. Let's go ahead and Irida here. I want to get the Jynx. No, I don't want to get Jynx. I want to get the Palkia down, and I want to get our Buddy-Buddy Poffin rolling. This will actually allow us to kill this Bibarel. Palkia down, and we've got the Buddy-Buddy going because we've got Drowzees that we need to get moving. Save this Hypno for later. Let's go ahead and conceal cards here. Okay, we've got the Jynx and an EXP share. Jynx goes down. I want the EXP share on Palkia because we will eventually be using this Jynx. And that Jynx will probably get knocked out. We do have enough now. We'll go ahead and take the Unified Beatdown. Grab our first prize card, and it's another Irida. Irida would get us the Palkia VSTAR. We have 2 energy. That does get us kind of popping off, actually. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If we can pull the double turbo right now, just another Iono, that's fine. What we'll do is Irida here for the Palkia VSTAR and an Earthen Vessel. Earthen Vessel, we can actually get rid of this Hypno. That's fine. That doesn't bother us at all. Okay, we only have the 1 energy left. That's important to know. We can go ahead and drop this here. Radiant Greninja gets rid of it. Okay, we have the Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball drops. We do get another Drowzee. That's actually pretty good. Drowzee comes down. And we will Unified Beatdown. Just get rid of this Moltres. If he does bring out the Arcanine, we can then use Jynx to do what we want to do. Another Hisuian Heavy Ball, the one we just put in there. Okay, so they bring up the Arcanine. I'm not seeing any movement. We might end up with a timeout from them. I would hope we don't, but we might end up with a timeout. Just a passing of the turn. Okay, so we'll go ahead and retreat this into the Jynx. I want to do this mostly that way I can show you what it does. We are going to use our Star Portal to move those 3. Hypno down on the Drowzee. The answer is yes, we do want to put them to sleep. We can look through a Heavy Ball again. Okay, we got 2 energy and an Earthen Vessel. That's not great. With that there, we can go ahead and... I don't like them having 7 cards. I'd rather have 1 less. I think that's better for us in the long run anyway, even if they aren't playing. We can go ahead and put another Jynx down. I think that's fine. And we can go ahead and Heart-Stopping Kiss. Go ahead and just knock them out.
So good and tasty.
I think we have a timeout, which is fine. I'm not really going to worry about it. And timeout. Okay, so like I said in the last one, going first is actually pretty important. We've got Hypnos that need to evolve, Bibarel that needs to evolve, Palkia that needs to evolve. So going first is actually really quite important for this. I think Drowzee here's fine. I think Jynx here's fine. We've got the Buddy-Buddies. We've got Iono for later. Area Zeros. We should be okay. Okay. Going against this deck, that's actually pretty... Okay, we do have to worry about their 1 attack, but other than that, everything else doesn't really hurt us that bad. We will take the 2. I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay, it is our turn first. Here we go. We've got the Area Zero. Sure, we'll play it. Why not? Buddy-Buddy down. Bidoof and a Drowzee is fine here. We've got 2 for everything. We can go ahead and attach the 1 there and end our turn. Okay, Area Zero, not terrible. We will be using it, and then we'll just go ahead and Area Zero back on there, making sure they can't really get a whole lot. Okay, Radiant Greninja here is pretty good. What we can do is Hypno here. Yes, we will go ahead and knock that out just in case. We can go ahead and pop the Pokestop. We do get the Earthen Vessel. Throw down the Earthen Vessel to get 2 water energy. Attach for turn. Concealed cards. Okay, and we get the Terapagos, so we're pretty happy with that. Play down the Area Zero here. Let's go ahead and Irida here. Irida, okay, our Palkia, so we can do both of these. Our Palkia V. Let's look at our prizes. Okay, not terrible. We can. That's not terrible. We can figure that out. Palkia V goes down, and we can end our turn. Rare Candy into Pidgeot. I think that's okay. What we can do here, if he doesn't retreat, we're going to knock out something anyway. We have Energy ready to go. We can put that down, so on and so forth. Okay, so he's going to knock out this Hypno, which is actually okay. We can then just Palkia, put the Energy down, Iono, and figure things out from there. Okay, does a quick search. I would guess for a draw supporter. I don't think he has cards in hand. So I would guess a draw supporter of some kind. Not what I would have done. Getting rid of this Area 0, and they choose not to. So that actually just helps us completely. And we'll go ahead and put Jynx up. Okay, we get a Canceling Cologne. We'll go ahead and put Palkia down. I think that's fine. Let's see why not. We can go ahead and save that for now, and we can Iono. Might end up getting another energy, so on and so forth. Okay, so we do have this one energy. I think that's fine. We can put that. Yes, we can put that there. We can Fez here. Flipping the script. Super Rod here gets us both Drowzees and the Hypno. We can drop the Drowzee and this Ossus Order for the Hypno. We can Star Portal to get the one energy, so it's not a lot, but it is one. It does allow us to get everything off that we want. Go ahead and drop that Hypno. The answer is yes. And then we can go ahead and Heart-Stopping Kiss to kill this Pidgeot.
Yeah, boy.
And we take 2. Okay, a Tenacity and an EXP share. That's actually not bad. Does he have the Crispin? Crispin does knock this out. Okay, there's one. A Brassius. Okay. So he is not going to be getting much off with this. I don't think he's got the Carnelian attack that he can get off. Okay, not terrible. Okay, that does get him the next attack off. We can go ahead and put the Palkia here. We can EXP share 2 Palkia. Don't mind that all. Terapagos here. If we do that, we're hitting, what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 19. Well, I'd rather do much more damage than that. Let's get ourselves a Colress Tenacity going. We can get ourselves everything we need here, just in case he does get the Stadium bump. Or we can seal cards. Okay. Here's why we do it. We Ultra Ball here. We get rid of the Area 0 and the Irida, believe it or not. And we get ourselves the Drowzee. Drowzee goes down. We should be doing 22 now. So it would still behoove us to do Icy Wind, and it would put it to sleep, so it could end up not attacking next turn. We get the Drowzee here because we have the Turo in hand. If we get, and he's asleep. If with Turo, we can pick up this Hypno, put down the Drowzee, put down the Hypno on this other Drowzee, and kind of keep going like that. Can't retreat because he is asleep, so he has to have a switch of some kind. And concedes. And there you go. Jynx revisited with a little bit better, with a little more attached to it. and I like this deck. Do I think it's probably the better version of what we've played before? Yes. Do I think it's a good version for Terapagos and Palkia? No. Don't play this going into a competitive scene. Now, play this if you want to go to like a cup or a challenge. Yeah, this could actually really do a lot of damage. People aren't expecting that Jynx. It gets around a lot of things. The fact that it gets around Milotic because it's not a Terra Pokemon. The fact that so on and so forth. Yeah, like Farigiraf doesn't block Jynx either. Cornerstone doesn't block Jynx. And believe it or not, even as long as you put it to sleep, even Mimikyu doesn't block Jynx. So the stall wall, the stall apocalypse that we had earlier this week isn't really stopping this. Now there's a lot to it and you gotta be careful, but I think this deck is something that is a lot better than the first one that we played, and a lot of the upgrades really do help. Now for rotation, it does lose Bibarel, it does lose Irida and Radiant Greninja, and it's gonna lose a couple other things. I don't know that this survives rotation in a competitive way, but it definitely survives rotation. There are other ways of attaching energy, you know, especially with Terapagos. Instead of doing the Palkia, we could end up doing glass horn. Instead of the Bidoof line, we can absolutely do the Hoot Hoot line. So it's gonna survive. It's not as bad as you might think. What would I change in this deck? Honestly, I think this is the best version that it can be right now. Post-rotation, like I said, is going to change a lot, so we might actually revisit it post-rotation as well. That's a couple months off, though. That being said, happy Valentine's Day. If you have a loved one, go ahead and give them a heart-stopping kiss when they sit across the table from you, if your Valentine is willing to play with you.
What do you mean by that?
That being said, if you would, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that continue to help me put out videos like this, help me revisit decks, help me pick my brain and use different cards and try different ways of making cards work. I think we're at 230 something like that at time of recording, and I really appreciate everybody here. I really appreciate everybody helping me out and helping me learn. I appreciate that. I really do. With that, have fun, stay safe. I love you.